Hey, good morning. Dr. Bob Flower with your Tuesday, May 29th Master Pattern Report. Well, I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend and things went well for you. It certainly was a needed break. Okay, so let's get right to it. Let's talk about some calls. We have a couple of charts that we're putting up on the on our website. One for silver. And the silver call, which was actually made initially the beginning of April, for silver to decline from then was about $34, $35, down to $26, and that occurred on May 16th. And you can view these statistics and charts as again on our website. And as you know, we had called for a $26 silver and a drop conceivably below that down to around $22 to $23. We still are of the mind that silver will decline down to that $22 to $23 level. As you can see from the chart, when you look, there was a bounce. It hit exactly at $25.99 and bounced right back up, but we don't think that bounce is going to be of significance, and that we're going to see further weakness here. And it's curious because there was a similar bounce, if you look at the chart again on the website, that occurred at almost the exact same level on December 29th. So we think that this is going to be a good buying opportunity. Not yet, but you may want to, if you want to jump in here and be safe, that it doesn't decline further, and use this as a base. That's fine too. Don't pour all your cash into it though, because as I said, it certainly looks like we're in for a little bit further dip here. Okay. And by the way, our next we have two silver calls, one for today, market move, and one for June 7th. We'll talk about that next week. We expect to see moves in silver. And the S&P, again, another chart that you'll see online, hit a bottom last week at 1292. And that was very consistent. That was a very consistent line that we've seen over the past 6 to 9 months, insofar as resistance points and support points. Mostly resistance points, though. So this would indicate that this rally is not going to be significant. And that we're going to see a further decline here coming in very shortly, in the next 30 to 45 days. Okay. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about some politics. Okay. Oh, by the way, this mess in Europe that we're all experiencing, and the recent strength of the dollar. I mean, it's great for the dollar. A lot of politicians don't like it because that means we have to pay our debts back in stronger currency. But I wouldn't worry about that too much because, as we said last year and the year before, 100 years ago, the United States was the #1 economy in the world. And who was second? China. And here we are 100 years later, the United States is still the strongest. And who's second? China. But I don't think that that's going to last too much longer. China is in trouble. They're entering into the first phase of a bubble burst, especially in their real estate. And isn't it going to be ironic that when their dollar declines to levels that are going to be somewhat disastrous? And I think that's where we go, because where do they go? to get their money? Where do they go to get their aid? And what are they going to do to try and prop up the debt that's owed to them by the United States, but more importantly, the European market? Greece, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, Hungary. Where are they going to go? So, and further, the people that are in the big trouble here with the euro, and in particular Greece, is Russia. Because Russia is very reliant on the euro nations to sell their oil and gas, and if they can't make those payments and they can't meet the standards that they've been following, Russia stands a good chance of taking a huge hit over the next 12 months. So what we're looking at is, and I'll say it again, historic. We're watching history being made here as the world continues to fall apart. Gold and silver will dominate the markets once again, but it will not happen until everything else goes. When you see the dollar in a deep decline and the rest of the world in a decline, that's when you'll see gold and silver jump back in here. And we think that time is upon us. Maybe not next week, maybe not next month, but certainly in the near future. Okay? Now, let's talk about some hypocrisy here and some politics that are really quite annoying. It seems to me that we as Americans have entered a phase whereby if you are intelligent, if you have wisdom, if you are hardworking, if you are enterprising, if you are successful, you're not liked. You're not there because of what you've done. You're there because the government put you there. Or you're there because you worked off the brows and the backs of others who are not as fortunate. Well, I'm going to quote Abraham Maslow once again. Unrealistic perfectionism. There is no such thing as fair share. There just isn't. You need to have things in place that are imbalanced. That's what a fair and true market is. Communism, Marxism, is the area whereby everything is equal. And that, we all know, my good friends, does not work. We've gone down that road. We keep hearing from the administration that things are not working, that the capitalist system, in effect, this is what they're saying, trickle-down economics, which is a segment of the capitalist system, is not working. Oh, really? Is that right? Well, Bill Clinton made it work. Certainly Ronald Reagan made it work. And for 1.5 terms, George Bush made it work. Then he fell apart. And now we have the other guy marching in here, and he's going to make sure that it stays as bad as it is. So I resent the fact that because I or my colleagues or my family members are successful and intelligent and use our God-given capabilities, that we're resented, and that these abilities should be taken from us in the sense of higher taxation. I've worked all my life to put myself in a position where when I retire, I'd be taxed at a capital gains tax. That was part of my plan. Why? Because the government said you could do that. That was okay. That's part of the free market system. Now we're going to change that because we're running out of money for entitlements? Get a job. Get a job, and I don't care what kind of job you're going to get. Get a job. It's not that easy to go out and find something. I love these people that tell you, "Oh, do what you love." No, no, sorry. You do what you love, there wouldn't be any workers in the world. Everybody would be a movie star. Everybody would be an athlete. Everybody would be a TV host or what have you. No, no, that doesn't work either. That's unrealistic perfectionism. Now, this latest bit of hypocrisy is this bull crap with Bain Capital and how Romney, whether you like him or not, I don't care, whether or not he's qualified to be president. Well, as our old newscaster friend used to say, let's look at the record. Okay. Researcher Mark Thiessen, has listed a whole litany of ventures that the Obama administration has put us through insofar as invested capital. I'm just going to read them off to you. Raise It Technologies, $33 million grant, bankrupt. ECO Tality, $126 million, bankrupt. $126 million from the U.S. government. Okay. And this was one of Obama's pet contributors, and they're under investigation for insider trading. Nevada Geothermal Power, $98.5 million taxpayer loan guarantee. The company's in financial turmoil. Right? First Solar, $3 billion in loan guarantees. Has fallen to a record low in the NASDAQ stock market, reporting $401 million in restructuring costs tied to firing 30% of its workforce. Bain Capital. Abound Solar Incorporated, a $400 million loan guarantee. It's halted production of its photovoltaic panel and laid off 180 employees. Beacon Power, $43 million loan guarantee, and they're in distress. Then, of course, Sun Power got a $1.2 billion loan guarantee, and as of this past year, the company owed more than it was worth. Great deal. Good going. Bright Source got a $1.6 billion loan guarantee and has posted a string of net losses totaling $177 million. And of course, let's not forget Solandra. $535 million, bankrupt, and how many thousands of employees have lost their job? All right. I mean, you know, when you say, you know, there's a thing in the law of potential called the mirror effect, and the way it works is very simple. We've discussed this in the past. What you don't like about other people, or when you look down or you chastise people for your own benefit, is usually there's something that's going on that's the very thing that's wrong with you, right? And when we present information like this, we're trying to show the difference between the two. Now, if the difference goes one way or another, so be it. But right now, I can't see how somebody can come out and say that one person is not qualified when that person who's saying it is not at all qualified to do anything. There is no experience that Mr. Obama has had that prevails in the world of qualification. I mean, the guy never held a real job. Never ran a business. Was never a manager. Nothing. You can't turn around and talk about other people like that. You want to be a leader, be a leader. Let's talk about different issues, Mr. Obama. Let's talk about some other strengths that you have, and put those forward. Let's not tear down something that for the past 2.5 centuries people have worked so hard to put forward and truly believe in. Because you know what? Come this November, you continue, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's going to be a big disappointment to a lot of people, because a lot of people had high hopes. You caused a lot of consternation in this country because of the fact that you were a missionary for hope and change. And you can keep the hope, because we ain't getting the change. And I think that this is a sad time that we start attacking others instead of looking for ways to help this country bail itself out. In any event, check our website, www.masterpattern.net, and look for our charts, our most recent charts on there, and you'll see how the natural number that's called Euler's number in the master pattern produced the eventual drop to silver of $26, and we'll try and show you when we feel that turnaround is coming back down to that $22 or $23 level. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys the next time.